Authorities confirm a fifth child was not in that car and is still unaccounted for. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office searched Romelus's home in Porter looking for that child.
The kids found shot inside a car in Angleton on Saturday are his grandchildren. One of them is 3-year-old Amourra Chapell, who lost her life. What was your reaction when you heard about her death?
I started crying immediately. That's my grandbaby.
Chapell tells me an 8-year-old boy is also his grandchild. That boy is in the hospital.
Romelus lived at this home in Porter for just a few months with her 4 children.
Just seeing them Friday, and they were happy and on their way, telling us hi and bye, and figuring I would see them again Monday.
Many had not interacted with her at all. Residents are feeling uneasy.
My world trying to water me down. You don't need this. You need to wait. Whole time you waiting on nothing.
Before we dive into the background of what led up to this tragedy, there's been a major development. When authorities showed up at the suspect's home to serve a search warrant, what they found was shocking. Documents that shed new light on the case and the suspect's financial situation. Let's get into that first, and then we'll talk about the family's response to the claim about a fifth child. So listen to this.
England, no español.
They put $1,400. I got $4,800 in my purse. I got $4,800 in my purse.
Come on, Dora, what you smiling for?
I know, yeah, come on.
Okay.
Hey! So they put something in our thing. Put my money at. Look, I got the blues.
Put that 140
Help, 45 hours. And Belicio, no.
We know these shit.
Call it like the boots.
We ain't even play water tonight.
The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office has not been able to find or locate, as far as we know, this fifth child supposedly involved or could be involved in this incident. But the investigation that Montgomery County now has on their hands is because when they came here looking for this child, when they got inside, what they found is what can only be described as an identity theft operation.
He's coming to Romelus's home Saturday morning, looking for the oldest child, a 17-year-old, who wasn't inside. Instead, when deputies broke down the front door, they came across what they described as an identity theft operation, something believed to be connected to another crime. In total, detectives finding 33 Social Security cards, 48 ID cards, and 16 credit cards, some having Romelus's name, others with different names in her photo. Many were in various stages of being made.
For many, when news broke about the fraudulent documents and other things being found in the suspect's home, a lot of her friends were genuinely shocked by the allegations. They described her as not only an aspiring rapper, but also an entrepreneur and a legitimate tax preparer, someone who seemed to have her hands in a little bit of everything. So right now, many of her friends say that they are still waiting for more information to come out, because since she was a legitimate tax preparer, from their perspective, she may have had a reason to have the documents in the home. But that's all according to her friends. But here's where it gets interesting. Back in 2024, the same suspect had actually called out another tax preparer online, claiming she was working to fix what that person had messed up. And in part of that post, she accused the woman of being a fraudulent tax preparer who misused clients' information, withheld tax returns, and caused major financial losses. She even claimed that she was stepping in to make things right. And in part, she wrote that the tax preparer couldn't calculate the funds, and that she was stepping in to help, and that she herself was owed over $80,000 for prep fees. she has taken and miscalculated. Now, that was according to a post that the suspect made on August the 23rd of 2024, which her friends are saying that she was not the type that would have indulged in fraudulent activity. Now, listen to the remaining news clip regarding her family's reaction to the fifth child and what authorities finally said.
Romelus' family here, as I said, they've been here for the past couple of days. Obviously, still very much so trying to process this whole situation. This is not a normal situation by any stretch of the imagination. So if you can imagine family members, they were emotional, not wanting to speak on camera at this time, respecting that sort of privacy, if you will. But they did share this, that they're shocked. They have no idea what happened, and the two children that lost their lives in this incident, they described them as being the sweetest, nicest, and most innocent kids.
Also allegedly told investigators that she didn't call 911, that in fact she called, quote, the devil. And when asked why she called, Ramos allegedly answered, instead of them doing it to me, I'm going to do it to them, kill them all. As for that initial belief there was a fifth child, a source tells me that turned out not to be the case.
Okay, so as you heard in the news clip, they were able to confirm with their sources that the suspect did not have a fifth child. Now, where that came from, authorities have not spoken out on it, but her friends did take to social media, and one of her friends said she reshared the article and she said she only have 4 kids. They just need a reason to go back in her home, making up lies about a 17-year-old child. Now, also keep in mind that later in the video, I'm going to get more into a post from her friend regarding the allegation that her friend is making that the suspect should not be charged, that she was actually defending the kids against her son, which authorities have not confirmed. Now, where this originated from, it is this post here that her friend reshared. And in the post, she said, why isn't this article being discussed though? And in the article, it says, according to the county sheriff's office, deputies were dispatched around 5 a.m. after a distressed woman called 911 reporting that her son had attempted to unalive her and that multiple children were in the vehicle with her. Now, this article was published from Channel 2 Now News. As far as where this information came from, authorities have not confirmed this. This seems to be an independent blog or news outlet, not affiliated with a major news outlet, but they're the ones that reported on this, which her friends have been resharing.
No, she ain't too far. Shut the fuck up. Oh, can you see? Because it feel like I'm walking on Mars.
I press play with a flick of the wrist. I don't do crowds on the main event. And I step on next with design intent. Run that play, we ain't got no brakes. Whole clip sharp like shit.
Amourra.
He's all the way over there. On October the 4th, 2025, at 4:48 a.m., a 911 dispatcher received a call from a 31-year-old mother who wanted deputies to come to her location. Now, at that moment, deputies were not exactly sure what they were responding to. There wasn't much detail that the caller provided, just a call that led them to a gas station off the highway. When they arrived, deputies would uncover a chilling scene and immediately call for medical assistance. Court records indicate that security video showed this 31-year-old mother of 4 pulling up to a gas pump, talking on her phone as she got fuel, and then stand there until deputies arrived. Now, once deputies arrived, they uncovered the heartbreaking scene. They found her car still running, all 4 doors open. Now, court records would later reveal that this 31-year-old mother of 4 had covered her children with a white sheet before deputies arrived.
Doing first aid. We're doing everything we can.
Officers rushed to help the 2 surviving children, 9-year-old O'Karreo Romelus and 8-year-old Traviel Donner. Both were airlifted to Memorial Hermann Hospital fighting for their lives.
Now, as you just heard, tragically, 2 of her children, ages 13 and 3, lost their lives, and she has been taken into custody. Now, there are 2 other children, ages 8 and 9, and they are currently in stable condition after they were flown by a medical helicopter to a Houston area hospital. But I want you to pay attention to what the authorities said that she told them after she was arrested. And the reason why I want you to pay attention to this is because she has friends that have been defending her on social media, saying that the police have the wrong suspect in custody. So listen to this.
What? Well, hello, she sleep. She was at the beach all day in the pool.
Deputies arrived to a Shell gas station on Highway 288 in Angleton, where Romelus had pulled over in her white sedan. If you happen to know exactly the location where the shooting took place?
Again, that is part of the ongoing investigation.
Told investigators, instead of them doing it to me, I'm going to do it to them. When asked, do what, she reportedly replied, kill them all. She also told investigators she didn't call 911. She called the devil. She told detectives her children were with the devil. She went on to tell them they're dead. When asked what she meant by what she said, she replied, you can't take me without me taking you. It's unclear what may have pushed her to this point.
Now, after news broke about this tragedy and what the suspect had allegedly told investigators, social media users did react to it. One user said, the devil is real. I've heard him talk to me before, and some of my darkest times in my life literally heard a man's voice in my ear in a completely empty room. I wasn't weak and fought back. It's real. Not everyone can beat it. Someone else replied to her and said, big facts, big facts. I have danced on the playground for quite a while years ago, and I have heard the talking to me and the speaking in tongues voice. Took me a long time to get back my life, and just like you, I made it. All praises to the mighty Father. We don't know each other, but I salute you for staying strong and not giving up. So this was the reactions to what the suspect had allegedly said to detectives. Now, because detectives were unaware of where the crime occurred, because keep in mind, she drove 1 hour from her home to this gas station, then they did go and do a search on her property. So listen to this.
Look how big her ass is. Bye, go. Good night.
KJ11 got this exclusive video Saturday evening of investigators going in and out of Romelus's home. They were there for around 12 hours, appearing to collect evidence. They also towed away a car from the driveway.
Who farted?
It's not me.
Oh my God. Did y'all not wash the inside of y'all booty hole? I know boo boo does. That's me need to take a shower. What? You need to take a bath? You just changed.
Okay, now listen to this short clip that breaks down more of her background, including previous contacts she may have had with CPS, and pay close attention to the part about the TV show she once appeared on. The reason that detail is so significant is because the child at the center of the paternity dispute about 13 years ago is the same child who tragically lost his life, and the same one that some of her friends are now claiming should be the suspect in this case. Now, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to like the video, drop a comment, and let me know what are your thoughts so far about this case. And if you appreciate the coverage, then please subscribe to the channel. Listen to this.
Principle, like, it's weird. Like, I posted a nigga. I log in his page. I see so many.
Looking into her past, Oninda has a criminal record, including arrests for DUI, drug possession, and reckless driving. And nearly 12 years ago, she appeared on the reality TV show Paternity Court, trying to learn who fathered her oldest child.
Hello, Your Honor.
Neither of the men tested turned out to be the father. Now she sits behind bars, accused of something far more serious.
Well, CPS confirms they had one prior interaction with this mother, but could not release the details. The 2 children remain in the hospital. As for the mother, she remains in the jail on a $14 million bond.
Now, to many who knew the 31-year-old suspect, They say that this was not like her. And in fact, she had moved to Texas from Atlanta so that she can get a fresh start for her and her kids. Now, one of her friends took to social media, and what they said was, me and Nina spoke about a lot, and she never was stressed about her kids. She took very good care of them and never abused them. She went to Houston for peace of mind and better living for her and her kids. If she didn't love them, why would she sacrifice so much for them? Y'all fake bloggers and crime junkies need to focus on your own mental health and kids instead of being nosy, because y'all not trying to help at all. Now, in response to this post that her friend made, someone went under and left a comment, and she said she was running from the law because she was involved in another crime. She went there thinking she's covered, whole time death knocking right back at her door. Spare me, okay? Now, in response to this comment, someone wanted more information, so they said following. And she replied, she said, like, girl, stop acting like she left for peace. No, she went because she was getting paranoid. She put so much evil in the world, she didn't know where it was coming from. She checked her firstborn child and proceeded to put everyone else in the car wounded. She drove around 90 minutes until she was out of gas at the end of Texas state line, contacting authorities as she proceeded to gas up. She thought they would all be deceased at that point. And she always called the law the devil. So when 12 asked her that, it wasn't far-fetched. Now, this is all alleged because authorities have not confirmed this, nor have they revealed a motive. What authorities will tell us, I will play it in the press conference. Now, before we get into the press conference, I do want to give you a little bit of background about the suspect. At the time that this tragedy occurred, she was 31 years old, and according to friends and family, she originally came from Haiti before later settling into Atlanta, Georgia. She had been in Atlanta for quite some time, and the city really became home for her after leaving Haiti. But while Atlanta was home, it also came with a lot of heartbreak and hardship. She was in a long-term relationship with the man she was engaged to, and she truly believed they were building a life together. She thought they were expecting their first child, but she also admitted that there was a possibility the baby could belong to another man. She ended up taking both men on television for a paternity test, and the results revealed that neither of them was the father of her son, who is now at the center of this tragedy, the 13-year-old child. Even though it was determined that her fiance at the time wasn't the biological father, the two continued the relationship for some time afterward. That relationship would eventually come to an end when he was later convicted of trying to kidnap a prosecutor's father and sentenced to prison. So eventually she moved on and found love through another man, but that relationship would also end. Then in 2022, it appeared as though she had found happiness again. She posted a man for National Boyfriend's Day and often shared photos of the two together, smiling, going out, and building what she thought was a future. The two would go on to have a daughter together, and that little girl was unfortunately one of the victims who lost her life. But just like with her former fiance, her love story would once again come to an end. He would later be arrested and charged with murder, along with several other serious offenses, leaving her to move forward as a single mother of four. Now, to put this in perspective, the 13-year-old son who was at the center of that paternity case years ago was one of the victims who lost his life. And her 4-year-old daughter, the child she had with the man who ended up incarcerated for murder, was the other. Two children, both tied to defining moments in her past, both gone in this unthinkable tragedy. Now, with everything she had been through, it all came to a head on December the 3rd, 2024, when she took to social media overwhelmed with emotions, and she said, "This past week, the devil has sent his minions to irritate and annoy me. I'm just glad I ignored them, because the way I'm heading, it's jail or somewhere else. Thankful I've made it this far." So fast forward to 2025 and the year that she was set to turn 31, she was looking forward to a new chapter in her life. She took to social media on June the 24th, 2025, while she was still in Georgia, and she wrote, established 6/18/1994, best of both worlds. 31 Queen Energy. This chapter is called Peace and a Soft Girl Era. My life is a reflection of God's goodness and mercy. I'm thankful for the lessons learned and the memories made. I'm stepping into this new chapter with faith and expectation. Thanks to everyone who wished me a happy birthday. You are appreciated. Now, shortly after she made this post to step into this new chapter, she would later move to Texas. On July the 23rd of 2025, she would make a post and it said, I'm glad you learned your lesson. Please stop disrespecting these women. Never know how tired they are. Now, who she was referring to or what she was responding to, that content has been deleted, so it's no longer available. However, one of the last posts that she would make on one of her social media accounts just 8 days before this tragedy, the caption said, because what it really do, you're not a bad female if you're a terrible mother. To all my mommies handling business and did handle business this week, baby, go to happy hour, forget them kids. Not a game, play with your own kind, ain't nothing sweet. No bums allowed, no dusties allowed, weak females. So this was a status that she made 8 days before the tragedy occurred. Status, who I read earlier, who said that this was unlike her. This was a comment that she left to someone who inquired as to what happened. She said, well, the story I got was that her son was the one who did it to the younger kids, and then she tried defending the kids, but the story is still developing. And then it was another friend who said, I know you, cuz God finna seek you through this. Fake news is more to the story. I wish I could talk to you, man. I'm so mad right now. Then there were additional comments that was left, and the friend said they charged her with 2 times with it, but I'm hearing that her son was the one who did it, and then she did it to him in defense. And that person said the Otis, and she said, I was at the Shell this morning, which is the gas station where this occurred. The assistant manager was talking about this while we were checking out, and I'll just say that they have very good cameras, and her son did not shoot her. So stop. And then the friend said the shooting never took place at the gas station. It happened before they got there. So stop. Now, as far as where it occurred, authorities are not releasing that. These are just speculations at this point. Authorities have not confirmed, but what they have said is that the suspect that they have in custody is the mom, and she is the one who they believe is responsible for this incident. So there were posts that the suspect was making in regards to it. She made a post on September the 17th, and she said, life's great, not stressing about nobody, dusty son. I don't got to be questioned and accused. I can cuss a man out if I want to and go to sleep in my bed peacefully, going to get a flip phone tomorrow, because I got to hang up on a dude the Tia Camp way. Now, as far as if she was in a relationship after her daughter's father went to prison, that's unknown, but it does appear that she was making
evidence indicates that the driver of the vehicle identifies as a 31-year-old Oninda Romelus. She's the mother of the 4 children involved. All 4 children have sustained gunshot wounds. Sadly, a 13-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl did not survive. We are thankful to report that an 8-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl are now in stable condition. We believe that the evidence shows that this tragedy has occurred inside of the vehicle, and that Romelus, the mother of the children, is the shooter. At 4:48 a.m. yesterday, Romelus called the Brazoria County Sheriff's Office. When deputies arrived, they immediately began providing lifesaver measures. to each children until medical help could arrive. The 2 surviving children were life flighted into a Houston area hospital where they remain in stable condition. Romelus was later arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, with a total bond set at $14 million. Romelus is a current resident of the Montgomery County here in Texas, where Sheriff Wesley Doolittle is the sheriff there of Montgomery County, and he is here with us today. His office has assisted us with investigative tasks that have taken place there in Montgomery County. Our investigators, along with responding agencies, continue to collect and analyze evidence in this case in this ongoing investigation. I also want to thank the people of Brazoria County and our surrounding communities. The prayers, the messages and support shown for these children, and also for the first responders involved in this, mean more to us than what words can express. It is impossible to make sense of a senseless tragedy like this, but we will do everything we can to seek justice for these children. I will now open this up for a few questions. However, before I do want to be clear that there are still many details that cannot be released at this point, okay? So, you have any questions? Yes, ma'am. Again, that is part of the ongoing investigation that we're still looking into. So,
You mentioned that she called 911. Can you explain a little bit more about that? At what point did it happen?
at what point did what happen? She called, yes, she called 911. I believe the time was, what, 4:48 a.m.? Is that what I said? Yeah. Well, yes. She called and our deputies responded. She called and she gave us information that we needed to come to her location. We didn't know exactly what we were responding to at the time.
I'm sorry, short specification. Can you share what investigators found at their home in Montgomery County? And that was her permanent residence there?
That's exactly where her permanent residence was. That's part of the ongoing investigation. That's where her residence was, so that's why we went to that residence.
Did she have any criminal history, or is there any?
Again, that's part of the ongoing investigation that we're continuing to look into, and I can assure you that we will do everything in our power to find justice for these children.
Have the 2 surviving children been interviewed, or are there plans to interview them and get an understanding of what they saw?
Can you ask your question again? Yes, they have been interviewed, and they're going to continue to cooperate as well. Yeah.
Is she a parent that has sole custody of the children?
I'm not going to mention much about the custody situation. There's a lot of things that are still it's an active investigation. Okay.
Sheriff, would you have an active investigation? We understand there's not a lot that you.
There really is not.
But a lot of folks are just wondering, what went wrong here?
Right. Like I said, at this point, this is still an ongoing. However, what is most important is that our team is working on this. We've been burning the midnight oil on this ever since this dropped, right? So I can assure you we're looking into this, and there is a lot of stuff that is not able to be released at this point. So, all right. I got one more question.
One more question. I got to get you guys back. Are you able to share what kind of weapons recovered, or was there a weapon recovered?
I'm still, like I said, it was a weapon that she did utilize, and she did shoot. I'm not going to tell you all the calibers and all the details. I'm not. There's not time for that.
Quick question. Hey, folks, I'm sorry. I just had one more question up. I got to get these guys back to work. I'll answer any additional they have. Any indication? You said that the mother lived in Montgomery County.
Yes.
Why was she in Brazoria? Can you release that information? What brought her here?
I can. Again, that is part of the active and ongoing investigation that we're looking into. I apologize.
coming down here, and I know we're not able to release a lot of information at this point. There's a lot of things that we can't speculate on as part of a criminal matter, but I just really appreciate you being down here. If you'd like, I'd be able to answer any of your questions, and I'll make sure to get that stuff in our release.
One question.
Yes.
What can you share with us today that we didn't know yesterday?
I think the biggest thing that we didn't have information of yesterday was where this event occurred. The sheriff did say it in his statement, but we do know that it did occur inside the vehicle at this point. Again, the specific locations, the specific weapons, that is all something that is still part of that ongoing investigation.
Was she taken in without incident?
I'm trying to think. I would say so, yes.
Can you spell her first and last name?
Absolutely. I actually don't have that in front of me. I apologize. I will put it in that release whenever I send it out to your respective agencies.
And she is in Brazoria County Jail.
Correct, yes, and she is on that $14 million bond.
What do we know about the motive?
The motive, I can't speculate on that right now. I can't speculate on that one right now. I do know that we are working and interviewing both her and any other witnesses involved to try to determine that.
In the press release, you guys mentioned something about individuals in custody involved in this case. What are we talking in plural?
I believe the phrasing of the press release was that all the individuals involved were detained. We've only actually taken one into custody. So, and by individuals involved, it was anyone who saw anything, any witnesses, etc., just to make sure that we got all that information. Any witnesses, a lot of them have actually already come forward, which is great. So.
We just believe that there's just one person involved in this matter, and this is the mother.
Yeah, as the sheriff said, the shooter is the mother in this case, and at least all the evidence that we currently have at this point points to that.
Just to clarify, you said the call was made at 4:48 a.m.?
Yes, a.m., correct.
Is there any information on who will be taking custody of the two surviving children?
No, not at this time.
And it was a 13-year-old boy, 3-year-old girl?
Yes, yesterday it was 4 p.m., or the age was listed as 4, and that was my fault. I did some bad math. Apologies on that. But yes, very, very sadly, a 3-year-old.
And all 4 of those kids were her kids?
That is our understanding, is that she was the mother of all 4.
13-year-old boy, 4-year-old girl, and then what are the genders of the other 2, the 8 and 9-year-old?
I don't want to swap them. I know it was a boy and a girl, but let me confirm on which age had which.
Do you know, did they like as far as the kids, were they attending a specific school district? Do you know what is that information been?
I don't have that one offhand. If that can be released, I'll put it in our press release.
The suspect, African-American, white, Hispanic?
African-American female, age 31.
Is she cooperating in the investigation? Is she being forthright?
Yes, that's a great question. I would say that she has been interviewed. That is the way I would answer that question. Any others?
She doesn't have any criminal history?
Not any that I can release at this point. Yes, I can. Not that I'm aware of. Any other questions?
And the bond, just to confirm, 14 million, you said?
Yes, 14 million total for all 4 charges. So the 2 murder charges were both set at a $5 million bond, and then the charges for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon were each set at $2 million.
And the 2 surviving children are still in hospital? And you said stable condition?
They are in stable condition. My understanding is that they're still receiving medical treatment, but I haven't verified that in a number of hours. So.
Do we know which hospital?
Houston area is what I have.
Has the suspect, has she already appeared before a judge, or is she just in custody at this point?
She would have had to be magistrated to receive her bond amounts, so she should have appeared before a judge, at least in that capacity. Any other questions? All right, folks, thank you, and thank you for your patience. I really appreciate you. And if I'll be available as you guys take down if you think of anything. Thanks.
If you pay attention, you'll really listen to I think about it. I really blame you. Why? Get out and pop out a little cue, I will. If I want to be a bum, I will.